It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
This is all about politics. This is NFL protecting the shield. If you end up to be somehow a personality, you have some charisma, you maybe have some swagger, the NFL don't like that. They like people to be in line. They like order. They don't want you to be in front of the shield because if so, now you have more leverage. That's the name of the game when it comes to business. Who has more leverage?
With the 144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders.
We can't control the uncontrollable.
You can't control that. So you just gotta remain positive, stay happy at all times, and no God got you.
Welcome back. What's good? This is the Furious Robinson podcast, and I'm your host, Furious, your curator of conversation, wordsmith aficionado, voted most likely to be trending down the timeline. Hit the like button, drop a comment, sub. This is a Sick Times media production. You see the planes.
Yeah, this is so funny. It's funny when he's lost for words because
I know what's going on.
but it's funny because he never comes to the conclusion. No, he never does.
No,
He gonna be the last one to ever say
I
that.
like to have hope, and I trust God. Dang, God ain't got it.
This ain't God.
This
the devil.
This devil.
So at some point, we got to stop calling this a coincidence. Shedeur Sanders, top 5 prospect, still sitting here after 3, almost 4 rounds, and everybody acting like it's normal. But we've seen this movie before. Yo, we got Colin Kaepernick, went from Super Bowl starter to being erased overnight. We got Lamar Jackson, Heisman winner, and was told to switch to wide receiver. And now Shedeur Sanders, son of prime time himself, is getting quietly played in real time. This is a large form of disrespect from the NFL. If I'm Shedeur in this situation, how do I even go to work the next day knowing you didn't want me here? How do I step into the facility saying, yeah, I want to win this building championships, knowing I'm just here because it's a numbers game and you had to put me on your team or you would have looked nuts. So to me, it's sick because now I'm looking at it from a business standpoint. Now I have to bring in finances. If I'm a college athlete doing my thing, I'm driving the double R in college. I'm playing big time. I may be making $5 million in NIL deals in college. Why would I then go to the NFL to play backup? Why would I be on the practice squad for $300K? So you don't need a tinfoil hat to see this. All you need to do is pay attention. Let's be real. Shedeur Sanders, he gonna be in the NFL. We already understand that. He's polished. He's built for the moment since he could walk. We get it. And if you watch the guy, he's calmer in a collapsing pocket than some quarterbacks are ordering coffee. But that's not what makes this whole thing even more nut. How is it even possible that some of this is proven? How is it even possible that someone this ready, this proven, is still waiting by the phone? Talent was never the issue. This is all about politics. This is NFL protecting the shield. If you end up to be somehow a personality, you have some charisma, you maybe have some swagger, the NFL don't like that. They like people to be in line. They like order. They don't want you to be in front of the shield because if so, now you have more leverage. That's the name of the game when it comes to business. Who has more leverage? So as these NFL owners continue to collude behind the scenes, allegedly, and put things into play, now you see how grown men can lose millions of dollars all off of headlines, narratives, and puppets being moved behind the scenes. And it's nasty because Shedeur built out this legendary tent for draft day. He got the whole fam coming through. He got Shensia sitting by his side. Everything looks to be going right. This plays into some of the what they say, the optics that the NFL doesn't like. He's not humble enough.
It's never a bad message to tell your kids, be humble. Humility works in the summer. It works in the fall. Humility works in the spring. Humility works in the winter. Don't gas your kids up too much.
Yeah, just look at the way the media is framing it.
Throughout the pre-draft process, Shedeur Sanders very much proceeded as if he was dictating to clubs where he was going to go rather than how the draft works, which is the other way around. And there were a bunch of opportunities missed at the various checkpoints through that pre-draft process. Go all the way back to All-Star season. Instead of going to the Senior Bowl, he went to the East-West Shrine Bowl in his backyard in Dallas. Despite an NFL memo saying if you go to these All-Star games, you have to practice, Shedeur chose not to. At the Combine, it is now well documented some of his formal interviews did not go well. One assistant coach told me in all his years, it was the worst formal interview he'd ever been through. People said that Shedeur was trying to dictate how he wanted things to go and made them feel small. Even at the Pro Day, the entire Big 12 had an event in Dallas. Shedeur was there, but did not work out. He had a showcase instead in Colorado. All of which is to say, for a player who had a variety of questions both about the talent level, how he would fit into an NFL system, how he would adjust from his play style in college, but also about the potential culture shock of for the first time playing for someone who is not his father. There were opportunities that Shedeur Sanders could have taken there. He seemed to feel as if he was in an elite category where he could choose the few teams he wanted to go to. Now some of those very same teams that might be considering taking Shedeur today didn't get those opportunities to answer their question.
Yo, when a white quarterback shows swag, he's confident. He's a real leader. He's showing moxie you can teach. When Shedeur smiles after a touchdown and throws up the wrist, suddenly it's cocky, it's arrogant, and not focused. Same celebration, same swagger, different labels depending on who's doing it. These labels stick even if they're not true. A lot of people have a large perception based off of internet narratives and anonymity. Just come out and stand on your words. If you really believe that Shedeur Sanders is the asshole that you say he is, you should be able to stand on those words and get some pushback. We need to see what your winning history is, right? If these coaches are putting out narratives about if someone's a leader, if someone's a winner, let's check your record. Let's check your resume. This isn't new. It's a pattern. Lamar Jackson, Heisman winner, changed the league. They still wanted him to play wide receiver. Cam Newton, MVP Super Bowl appearance, lost one game, and suddenly he's a villain for smiling too much and doing a dab. Colin Kaepernick took a team to the Super Bowl, took a knee for justice, and never played another down. Bro was trying to stand in solidarity and got erased from the NFL. Every time a black quarterback rises too high, there's a new excuse. It's never about the arm. It's never about the wins. It's about control. This is about control. Can we control you? Are you going to fall in line? Will you take direction? And if we don't think you will, we're going to make you do it. I'm not going to go too deep. I'm not going to go into some of the plantation-esque narratives, some of the butt-breaking narratives that are flying around. But you really do have to look at this and say, yo, if you're doing everything right, and this is when I have to really try to unpack some of this, because this dude not crashing no cars. He not smoking no weed. He not beating no, he's not doing anything that leads me to believe that he's not a good leader. And he has solid attributes on that field. So this to me is collusion from the NFL owners in real time to say, yo, we got to humble you. Allegedly, this is all conspiracies in real time.
The NFL has been clueless for 50 years when it comes to evaluating quarterback. Clueless. No idea what they're doing in terms of evaluating quarterback. That's proof. There's proof of that.
How many
times? They say we know exactly what we're talking about with quarterback. They don't.
When you start to look deeper into these billion-dollar franchises, the NFL is perfectly fine with black players being the entertainment, the highlight reel, the jersey sellers. But the leaders of the locker room, the face of the brand, that's when they start looking at reasons to say no. This is exactly what the machine wants. This is exactly how the system works. When I look at large businesses, billion-dollar franchises, they want a certain look, a certain dynamic. It has to be universal. It has to be well digested. And Shedeur Sanders doesn't seem to be that for the NFL. This is a good old boys club. They talk, they have relationships. They know how to get things done without making it a media frenzy. How many people even know who these owners are? They don't even get that much media attention unless they want it. So you have to look at it and say, this isn't a glitch in the matrix. They want black quarterbacks athletic, not vocal, grateful, not confident, entertaining, not leading. But the game is changing. So the more that things start to change, and you can see it in real time, athletes like Shedeur are coming out more and more. The NFL is going to try to push back at that. They want traditional ways.
With the 144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders.
Yo, let me know what you think. This is the Furious Robinson podcast. Hit the like button, drop a comment, sub. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we up.